Hey, Shalom. Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Demands to the apostles at Great Millstone, and peace to you, sincere brothers out there, high for the Lord, the house of David, teaching his truth, not being lukewarm. To you, LukeWarmites. To you, LukeWarmites. I got the word lukewarm in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and the brother did a video. I think it was yesterday. He said this is not the time to be lukewarm, and I totally agree, because a lot of guys that's actually lukewarm at this point, and you have guys around you that's like lukewarm and questionable and that and that matter. They're gonna turn on you, man. They're gonna give you up. They're gonna act like they didn't have nothing to do with this thing when the hammer drops down. They're not totally into this thing. They just standing around. They're not putting the effort in. They don't do videos during the week. They barely do any fucking thing to actually show that they're into it. And you have men all over that just go to camp every week. They don't really ain't really pushing out lessons, ain't really studying, not really putting their heart into it. And when they do a lesson, that shit's all whack and shit. It's all stale, unseasoned. So the Lord said to be lukewarm. And me and the brother, we was reading the story about Saul, how the Lord told Saul to go kill all the Amalekites, and Paul, he didn't do that. I mean Saul, he didn't do that, but he told Samuel, I think it was, he told him that he did what he did everything that he thought he did, and he actually thought that he did what the Lord wanted him to do, but he didn't do what the Lord wanted him to do. So you have a lot of guys that's in that Saul spirit. You had a house of David, you had a house of Saul. And, Saul is here today in the form of a lot of you guys that's saying you're doing this truth. But really, you just lukewarm. You're a LukeWarmite. You have a lot of LukeWarmites. I mean, you're in the truth, but your heart ain't in the truth. You're half-hearted in the truth. You really don't want to do it, but you going through with it. And I firmly believe that a lot of you guys that's like that, the Most High is going to get rid of your ass real quick coming up. The Lord is going to get rid of you guys first. So if you're in the camp and you got guys and they lukewarm, and let alone let somebody you following, if he's fucking lukewarm, then everybody's going to be lukewarm. Because brothers that's been in this truth for a while, you're supposed to set an example for younger brothers, man. And we're just not in this to do something just to get by. But a lot of men think that they are getting away with something, or the Most High don't see them. That's how carnal guys are. Guys think that they really are getting away with something, man, not actually teaching the Lord's word. And that's just the truth. A lot of men are not hot for this truth, and they're just there. Are just there. There are a lot of lukewarm dudes in this truth that proclaim themselves to be super righteous, but actually deep down, this ain't really what they want to do. So so the result of that is lukewarm. And another thing is too, if let's just say, if you had infiltrators that infiltrated, they're gonna do what they need to do. They're gonna push a little bit of lessons. They're gonna go to camp, but they're only gonna do what they need to do. So the scope won't be on their ass. But what men don't understand is that real men with spiritual eyes that can really see things can really see if guys is really about this truth or not. And you have a lot of guys that's still in this truth, and actually they're carnal still, and they really don't see the spiritual side of this thing. That's why I was trying to break down the spirit and go into certain things. And guys just are not putting the effort into this. A lot of guys are just they're LukeWarmites. They're LukeWarmites. But what's gonna happen is it ain't gonna be no more of that faking shit. The Most High is gonna close the breaches of this thing, and that's why this Esau and these things is happening, because a lot of men are in this truth, basically perpetrating a fraud, not putting their all or their heart into it, as the scriptures tell you in Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, that you have to put your whole heart, your whole mind, and everything into this truth. So I'm going to grab a couple scriptures. I'm going to read this definition, because a lot of men, they think this is just something to hang out. They don't take it serious. And they convinced in their mind, they think the Most High is dealing with that lukewarm shit. But the Most High is going to get ready to spew out a lot of guys, man. And you lukewarmites thinking you're thinking that everything is okay. You think you're doing the right fucking thing, like Saul. Saul really actually thought that he was doing the right thing. But a lot of you guys are in that Saul spirit, half-hearted in this truth. The Most High is gonna surprise your ass in these last couple of days. He's really gonna surprise you, man. And if you don't put your whole heart in the Lord, how you think the Lord is gonna put His whole effort in protecting you? You put your half-ass heart in the Lord ain't looking to protect a man like that, or going to be with you, or the Spirit's going to be with you. If the Spirit was really heavy in dealing with certain guys within this truth, I'm talking about the intermediate to advanced. If you've been in this truth at least a year, if you've been in this truth at least a year, you should be putting the effort in. And I'm not saying brothers got to do videos every day or none of that shit like that. You would see more of a type of effort from men. Men are not giving the effort. A lot of men are beginning to slow down. A lot of men are scared. They really don't believe. They got in this thing and they thought it was just about calling a white man the devil, and they didn't really think this thing was going to get serious. And a lot of guys are just lukewarm. You're lukewarm and you're loving it. And you just, like the scripture said, even though a sinner do evil 100 times and he's not rebuked, he's gonna continue to do that until the Most High put his ass to death. So the word lukewarm, it says slightly warm, not enthusiastic, not having or showing energy or excitement. A lot of you guys ain't excited about this truth. And when you do a video or whatever, that shit's boring as fuck. Really, and that's the thing about this truth, man. When you do a lesson, man, you're supposed to be putting your heart into it. So that means sitting down, study, evaluating things, what you're gonna do or what you're gonna say, and letting the Spirit work through it. A lot of you guys, the Spirit is the Lord then snatched that spirit from you. So what's left is just to be lukewarm. And then when you try to do something, it's really your heart's not really in it. So it says, not enthusiastic, not having or showing energy or excitement. Now, moderately warm, tempered, lukewarm. Look at that. Moderately warm. So the Lord said, hey, if you lukewarm, He going to spew your ass out of His mouth. And the sacrifices that we throw up, we're supposed to be throwing up sacrifices that with our whole heart. And if you, just say, if you're leading brothers in a leadership position and you're lukewarm, you're going to get all those guys destroyed. And if you got luke guys around you, all them guys are going to be in that same spirit, man. So, a lot of guys don't really take it that serious. A lot of them are losing. If you're lukewarm, that means you don't have that much faith and you're losing hope. You don't really have any hope in this. This is something you really don't want to do. It says lacking conviction, half-hearted. So you have your half heart in this truth. Now it says symptoms: heated, hottish. Not hot, but hottish. Warm, tempered, toasty, warm, warmish. Yeah, a lot of you guys are just warm. You're lukewarm. You don't have your heart into it. You don't have any salt. Luke chapter 14, verse 34 says, "Salt is good, but if the salt had lost its savor, wherewith shall it be seasoned?" And a lot of you guys are not giving a seasoned sacrifice with salt because you're not putting your all. You're not putting a effort in it. But just like me and the brother was talking yesterday, the Most High put Saul spirits on a lot of you guys so the Lord can be justified in spewing your ass out. Because in turn, you think that it's okay what you're doing, but the Most High put that spirit on you to be that way so he can destroy your ass and to show men of understanding not the way to be. So it's just like you're being rebellious against the Lord. LukeWarmites, rebellionites. That's what you are. Verse 35, it is neither fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that have ears, let him hear. Look at that, man. So you're not fit for this. So the Most High gonna spew your ass out. It's just a matter of time. And a lot of the fat is gonna get trimmed off, man, when Esau start rolling. I honestly think that a lot of guys that's in this truth and just bullshitting and that don't really care that too much about edifying or doing lessons or being high for the Lord, the Most High gonna open the floodgates on your ass. But with that, man, Lord willing, was edifying, man. To the next lesson. Hey, shalom.